Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Did you just get on?
I came in at 9:04.
Oh, okay. Because I backed out a few times
You did.
thinking
Well,
that maybe I was having that that issue. But
well, you know what I did? This is the thing that happens. So when I go into Zoom, it'll show me which class do you want to go in, and it has the different speeds. Sometimes I'll click on like the mid speed or the high speed, and I'll sit there. And if I don't see like somebody I know, I back out, and then once I'm in, it doesn't say what speed it is. So then I went back
oh,
in.
gotcha.
Yeah, and then I thought, well, maybe she's just running late. So I was just reaching for my phone to see if you were going to come in. So that's why. So I came into this class at 9:04.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
haven't started yet. Very good.
I know. I wish I could see once I'm in, like right now, if you weren't here, like I wouldn't know. It doesn't say like on the screen what class it is.
Really?
Yeah, no,
That's
I
weird.
I know I should ask Robert if we could do that, because I've done that a couple times where I go into the wrong class, and it I've actually taught a class once and nobody showed up, but we posted it and everything in the right class. But sometimes I do that and it's like I got to pay attention. So anyways, all right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's start off with some common names. Here we go. Or actually, these are words, common words. Here we go. View, says, refer, error, duplicate, trusting, policy, matters, season, lots, alone, calling, arrange, collection, purchase, those, showing, brought, vacation, add, Thursday, secure, comes, inquiry, finish, hands, thousand, talked, purpose, fully, advantage, sometimes, fill, success, shipping, stop, worth, customer, black, afraid, regards, game, discount, stand, turn, cause, page, concerning, handle, weight, bear, enjoyed, amounting, obtain, entered. All right. Common phrases that you hear. So not everything is going to be, you're not going to be able to phrase everything, but just try to phrase everything you can. Okay, here we go. Where he was, where I was, where was, whether he was, whether I was, whether or not he was, whether or not I was, which he was, which I was, which was, who was, we are, we believe, we believed, we can, we cannot, we could, we feel, we felt, we have been, we have believed, we have had, we recall, we recalled, we recollect, we recollected, we remember, we remembered, we shall, we should, we think, we understand, we were, we was, as you were, if I were, if you were, it were, she were, so you were, that you were, there were, they were, this were, we were, what you were, when were. All right. Now I've got some initial consonants that all start with TW and they're in sentences. Okay, here we go. When a twirler twirls a twirl, it twists. Will Rogers twirled ropes and made me twitch and twinge. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, oh, how lucky you are. Her arm had a twinge of pain from the twine at 12. Try not to twist the twine and twinge. Tornadoes are called twisters. She twisted him around her finger with twine. He didn't care a twit or a twinge. That twitch was caused by pain in the twitter. You can recognize a twitcher with a twinge at 12. The twigs were in a twizzle because of the twirler. It sets me in a twitter like a twirler twirls. There's many a slip twixt cup and lip. Twizzle means to twirl like a twizzle twirler. 20 words twice given are twins. The cloth was of twill, and I was tween. The twine was twisted twice. Twins are not like twin twigs. Twigs can be twisted like twine in a twister. Twirlers and tornadoes are not made of twill and twisted.
Would you write twinge as TWIN and then come back for J, the final J?
That's the way we're supposed to write it. Always come back for that final J with the, those J word or the sound of J. But because it's written it's spelled with a G. If I'm in a hurry, I'm going to use a G. You know what I mean?
Like twing or something.
Yeah.
Write it that way.
Yes, TWING.
Okay.
If I'm in a hurry. There are some words that conflict, and that's why we've learned it to come back for that final J.
Right. I think it's so in my head phonetically that's what I would probably do, but I'm not in higher speeds yet either. So
yeah. So what I do is I have it both ways in my dictionary, but like rang and range, you know what I mean? That's that would be a conflict. So you have to come back for final J. So that's why we learn it with the final J, because we can't stop and say, oh, does that conflict?
Right.
So for me, it just depends on how fast that speaker is talking. Like if they are, if I'm having a hard time keeping up, I'm just going to use the G. But if I'm doing okay, I'm going to come back for J.
When you come over Thursday, I want to watch you.
Okay.
I want to see you write.
Okay.
Yeah.
Posture and stuff.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to watch you, because I know that, are you currently writing at the top speed? You know what I mean?
No, I would say right now I'm writing at 160.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's still faster. But
yeah,
it wouldn't
take long to get. It's like riding a bike. If I were on my machine every day, it would probably be back in a month. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So it wouldn't take long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Yay. Well, good. Then you can watch me too, even though when I know that somebody's watching me, it's like
I
I
know.
can't concentrate. So,
I know.
yeah.
I used to have a hard time when I was in qualifying at school. There were a couple teachers that, if you know how qualifying, it's four people live. And if it wasn't their part, they would look up and watch people write. And
Oh,
I swore that they could tell what I was writing, even though they can't. But still, when somebody's watching you, it's like, I wanted to say, stop, like look down at your paper. So when I
yeah.
did qualifying, I never looked up at the students because I knew I didn't like that. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
you're trying to focus on a test, you don't want somebody like watching you,
Uh-huh.
even though
Eyes boring in on you.
yeah, they can't tell what you're writing, but still it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Stop it.
you want to get in the zone, and whatever weird face you make because you're focusing, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I would catch myself like holding my tongue or something, like focusing, like trying to hang on for dear life. And then you look up and somebody's looking at you. It's like throws you off your,
Right.
so.
Oh, gosh.
Oh man. Okay. Now I've got some names and social security numbers. So I'm going to say the name and spell it and then give the social. Okay. All right, here we go. Davis, Davis, 686-96-9578. Hoppings, Hoppings, 11843-7925. Samson, Samson, 609-546632. Palmer, 103589385. Canelli, Cannelli, 790385708. Canby, Canby, 482-483935. Jarvis, Jarvas, 254554113. Hadley, 622-78-2104. Jarnigan, Jarnigan, 315-22-7394. Clover, 787-238962. Vance, Vance, 517-82-4036. Tremaine, Tremaine, 978-483283. Miller, 143730317. Saltzman, Saltzman, 449286464. Richards, 701-831590. Miller, Miller, 143830317. And Mason, Mason 524-254781.
Those felt good.
Good.
They
See, I
felt
think the
really
more
good.
we do this, the more.
I think so too, because I think when it comes to names, my brain just goes, oh my gosh, it's a name and not a word. And I know that it should I just need to think phonetic. Don't
Yep.
listen to the name, listen to the sound, and the
Yep.
practice really helps.
Yeah, it
So
does.
yeah.
It does. Like if you have the last name Wells, throw in the S or the Z all in one stroke,
Right.
So yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, if you want to do a whole bunch of those. If you want to give me, well, these are like private classes anyway, but if you want to give me a private class on Thursday, that'd be great.
Yes, like with names and spellings and things like
I'll
that.
give you coffee.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You just ask me and we'll go
Oh
over
my
it.
gosh.
Yes.
That's funny. I don't want to make you work.
No, and I'd like to see too, like where your machine is, like your posture and stuff, like how
Well, my
high.
posture sucks,
Oh
probably.
no, no, I'm sure it doesn't. All right, let's see here. I've got more. All right, so now I've got words where it's got the final ed. So some, it's up to you again. If you can add it in the same stroke, that's kind of that's also another thing that I do, like with that G word or J word. If I'm falling behind, I'm going to put the D in the same stroke if it's
Right.
possible.
Right.
If I'm doing fine on my speed, I'm going to come back for a second stroke because that's the correct way to do it. Or the way that is the safe way. So anyway, some of these you can do it in one stroke, and some you have to come back. All right, so here we go. And then I have a few sentences with those. So we've got gained, aimed.
What was that
Failed.
one?
What was that?
The
Aimed. Like
aimed?
she aimed
Oh,
for the target.
gotcha.
Okay. Failed, paired, mugged, puffed, packed, filled, snapped, patched, called, matched, rubbed, mailed, dried, seamed, fried, cried, white, tried, played, smoked, stacked, canned, stunned, planned, boiled, turned, robbed, wished, stopped, hoped, fished, crawled, named, hatched. And then here are your sentences for this. And then I'm going to give you the other words where you have to come back for final D. The wolf huffed and puffed as he tried to blow the house down. The arrow streaked toward the target, but failed to hit the mark. The dried fruit was stacked in the shed where it was stored. And then here are the other words. Darted, padded, phased, sneezed, faded, headed, glanced, faced, needed, raced, matted, sliced, parted, salted, buzzed, trotted, cheated, wheezed, tested, kissed, added, squeezed, shouted, pointed, started, voiced, fitted, placed, spaced, forced, blessed, spotted, seated, boxed, hissed, fussed. And then here are your sentences. Mia was not fazed when the fabric faded and she started all over. The horse trotted rapidly when it headed for the barn. He needed the grade, but should not have cheated. All right. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay, good. All right, so I'm going to give you just a few names and addresses. Okay. All right, here we go. Christy J. Gingrich, GINGRICH, 2454 East 51st Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74105. Ann Arbor Public Library, Reference Department, 343 South 5th Avenue, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48104. Liam Waldron, WALDRON, 200 Salisbury Avenue, Anaheim, California, 93117. Ms. Deanna G. Black, BLACK, Sun Banks Corporation, P.O. Box 2848, Orlando, Florida, 32802. John Higginbotham, HIGGINBOTHAM, Alif Independent School District, P.O. Box 68, Alif, Texas, 77410. Virginia W. Barnt, BARNT, 417 Montgomery Street, San Francisco, California, 94104. Sheila L. Graham, GRAHAM, P.O. Box 883, Rye, Texas, 77069. Constance G. Hirsch, HIRSH, 5010 Walther Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21214. And Eleanor A. Wiles, WILES, AB Syndicate Corporation, 230 5th Avenue, New York, New York, 10051. So see, that would be a good example of you having to get that spelling, because this AB Syndicate is actually A hyphen capital B lowercase EE, like a bee that flies.
Oh, yeah.
AB Syndicate. Yeah. So see, it's kind of like a funky little way that they spelled it.
Well, and you know what's good about those too is that they're stitching an initials in there. Because of course I did AB, as A and B.
Right.
But, you've got to spell the names, and then you've got to come back for P.O. Box.
Yeah. Yeah.
So P.O. would be initials, and
Yes.
there's got to be a brief for P.O. Box. I'm going to make one.
Yeah.
But,
How about POX?
just so that.
No, POX.
Oh, well, you could flag it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be easy to flag.
Or
you can just use, well, you could use either finger to flag. POX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good idea. I'm going to write that down.
That's a good one. I know, because I always do the same thing. I do PO, PRBGS, ORBGS, and then box.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, because that's what, 3 strokes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one.
Jill and Pandora.
Yeah.
Making up briefs.
You have to publish
Jillster. Yeah.
Yeah. We invented something today, everyone.
I'm sure it's still in there.
Yeah.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah, somebody has.
Yeah.
There's probably 5 different ways to write it. Oh, okay. So I've got one last drill. These are sentences that cover long O words. Okay. All right, here we go. We've done some, but I didn't do the last row. So we're going to finish that off. Here we go. Spend the whole bonus. I was told the old joke. Joe has chrome wheels. He smoked the roach. The toll is 2 tokens. He was a noble Trojan. He chose a new cloak. Joan will grow fast. Goad him not to loaf. Tie the rope in a bow. They lowered the dome. I scolded the loafer. Don't mope over it. The scope is broken. Who can fold the most? It flows into the hole. Note that quotation. He is prone to boast. All right. We'll go ahead and start our literary.
Please, no poems.
No poems today. I didn't bring one. So, all right. This is actually going to be one paragraph. And I think I'm going to read this once at 60, then again at 80, and then again at 100. Okay. It's technical, but I don't think it's that technical. I mean, it's called a technical paragraph, but you're going to hear neutralize, terminals, battery, cables, quality, fastened, reputation, maintained, attention. And it's on batteries, battery information. Okay, here we go. The new maintenance-free battery does not need to have water added during its normal life. The vents are part of the cover and cannot be removed. Be sure to keep the top of the battery clean and dry. Make certain that the battery cables are tightly fastened to the battery terminals. A small amount of grease applied to the top of each battery cable will help to prevent rust. If there should be any rust, remove the cables from the terminals and clean the terminals with a wire brush. Neutralize any acid with baking soda and water. With minimal care and attention, this battery should give you years of trouble-free usage. Our reputation has been built upon the fact that our batteries are of the finest quality possible. Okay, so I'm going to do that again at 80. The new maintenance-free battery does not need to have water added during its normal life. The vents are part of the cover and cannot be removed. Be sure to keep the top of the battery clean and dry. Make certain that the battery cables are tightly fastened to the battery terminals. A small amount of grease applied to the top of of each battery cable will help to prevent rust. If there should be any rust, remove the cables from the terminals and clean the terminals with a wire brush. Neutralize any acid with baking soda and water. With minimal care and attention, this battery should give you years of trouble-free usage. Our reputation has been built upon the fact that our batteries are of the finest quality possible. All right, last time at 100. The new maintenance-free battery does not need to have water added during its normal life. The vents are part of the cover and cannot be removed. Be sure to keep the top of the battery clean and dry. Make certain that the battery cables are tightly fastened to the battery terminals. A small amount of grease applied to the top of each battery cable will help to prevent rust. If there should be any rust, remove the cables from the terminals and clean the terminals with a wire brush. Neutralize any acid with baking soda and water. With minimal care and attention, this battery should give you years of trouble-free usage. Our reputation has been built upon the fact that our batteries are not or are of the finest quality possible. All right. Now I've got one more literary I want to give you. This is numerical expressions. So there's numbers in this. I'm going to read this I'll read it at 80, okay? Here we go. A comparison of time spent by workers to earn the retail value of food products in mid 2009 shows that to buy boneless sirloin steak, a worker in Paris works 0.59 hours, in Rome 1.02 hours, in London 1.4 hours, in Tokyo 3.33 hours, in Washington, D.C. 0.3 hours. To buy a dozen eggs, a worker in Paris works 0.27 hours, in Rome 0.17 hours, in London 0.2 hours, in Tokyo 0.1 hours, and in Washington, D.C. 0.08 hours. To buy milk, a worker in Paris works 0.26 hours, in Rome 0.26 hours, in London 0.3 hours, in Tokyo 0.41 hours, and in Washington, D.C. 0.19 hours. Despite rises in food prices, today's family income buys considerably more food than it did 25 years ago. 1 hour's pay in 1980 would buy 10.1 pounds of white bread. In 2007, 15.9 pounds. In 1980, 1 hour's pay would buy 2.4 pounds of frying chicken. In 2007, 9.4 pounds. In 1980, 1 hour's pay would buy 7.5 quarts of milk. In 2007, 13.4 quarts. In 1980, 1 hour's pay would buy 2 pounds of butter. In 2007, 4.2 pounds.
That was interesting.
Very interesting.
I think I was all over the place.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
That was challenging. I could tell when I was reading it, thinking, "Oh yeah, this is going to be challenging."
At first, I started to write out point, and then I thought, "Oh, okay, no, I'm going to do PT here."
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to jury charge. Wait, this is not the one that I wanted. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, this is it. All right. So this one is going to focus on contributory negligence, which is TREG, TREG. Okay, and you're also going to hear reasonable, which I write RAENL. And then reasonably, you would just come back for either AE or long E for reasonably. Negligent is NEJ. Negligence, NEJS. Passenger, PAEJ. Circumstance, SIRK. Burden of proof, either BRP or BURP. Let's see.
I think I have negligent as NEG, not NEJ.
Okay.
And then, yeah. But whatever works.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. And then they also have recover. So I always, remind everyone, just don't get it confused with revolver, because I write recover as ROFer, but then revolver is, I write R-E-F-er, but some
Oh,
people
okay.
do the opposite. Some people do recover as R-E-F-er, and then
Oh,
refer would be a long E. So whatever you do, just, you know what I mean?
oh.
Mix them up.
I think I do refer as one stroke, but recover or revolver, I probably still do in two strokes.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
But
yeah.
referred, you do a long E?
No, not right now. I just do REFer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good then. All right. So we're going to start off with ladies and gentlemen of the jury. So L long A J S. All right. So I'm going to start at 60, but I'll work my way to 100. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, contributory negligence is a want of ordinary or reasonable care on the part of the person injured by the negligence of another, directly contributing to the injury as a proximate cause thereof. Contributory negligence may also be defined as a failure on the part of a person injured by the negligence of another to exercise ordinary or reasonable care to avoid the injury. One cannot recover damages for an injury to the commission of which he has directly contributed if the passenger is at fault, whether because of doing something he should not have done, or in failing to do something he should have done, then he cannot recover any damages for injuries he has sustained if the passenger's negligence has been a proximate cause of his injuries. He cannot recover from another who has also been negligent. But before you can find that the plaintiff is barred from recovery because of his own contributory negligence, you must find that his negligence was a substantial factor, which, together with the defendant's negligence, proximately caused the accident. If the plaintiff, in the exercise of ordinary care under these circumstances, should have been aware either that the defendant was unmindful of some danger, known or apparent to the plaintiff, or that the defendant was not taking proper precaution in the operation of the car, and the plaintiff failed to admonish the driver or failed to take proper steps for his own safety, and if such failure to admonish the driver was a substantial factor in proximately causing the accident, then the plaintiff cannot recover, even though the driver was negligent. But if you find from the evidence that as the car in which plaintiff was riding approached the place of the accident, the plaintiff exercised the care that a person of ordinary prudence and care would have exercised under the same circumstances with regard to admonishing the driver, then the plaintiff was not guilty of contributory negligence. The burden of proof rests upon the defendant to prove by the preponderance of the evidence that the plaintiff was guilty of contributory negligence, and if on this question you find the evidence evenly balanced or preponderating in plaintiff's favor, then you will find that the plaintiff was not negligent. All right. We'll move into Q&A. All right. So this is we're going to start out with defense questioning. And then I have another transcript that is a court case. But this one, we're going to start off with a deposition. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'll start at 60 and work my way to 100. When at the end of the day or evening did you close the shop? It just depended on the workload. And at that time, before the accident, you had 2 or 3 employees. 2. Were they full-time employees? 1 was full-time. 1 was part-time. Did you have anyone else working in the business besides those 2 and yourself? My ex-husband, William Bueller. And what would he do? He would do the bookwork. In March of 2009, if someone was to call to make an appointment to have, strike that. Do you primarily work on women's hair? Family hair care. So you have children and men. If a female child or otherwise called to make an appointment, get an appointment. Who would receive the call? It would be one of the 3 that was working at that time. You or the other 2? One of the 3, yes. Basically, Mr. Bueller did the bookkeeping. Yes. He was not involved in the day-to-day meeting of the public type thing. No. Did you suffer any loss of income as a result of the accident on April 8, 2009? Yes. And what income did you lose? I mean that generally. If you want to be precise, and your attorney may object to this because it's kind of broad, but I want to give you some leeway to describe what, if any, loss of income from your business that you have. It's okay. Go ahead and answer. I can only tell you on a daily basis before the accident how much I made. I could bring in $800 a day. Wow, I'm in the wrong business. Now, do you want now, at this time, right now? Or do you want to know right after the accident? My question was broad, but previous to the accident, before April 8, 2009, it's your estimate that you made about $800 per day. Personally, myself, it doesn't count what the other girls made. In the first quarter of 2009, if you know or have an approximation, what income did you net out of the business, out of the house of beauty? I do not know. Do you have an approximation at all? I do not know. Did you file an income tax return for the year 2009? Yes. Was that a joint return with Mr. Bueller? It would be at that time, wouldn't it? If you know. Yes. Counsel, I don't want to harass her or you. What I would like to do is be able to get some information. I gather that she doesn't have a recollection about. Let's go off the record. Sure, all right. Let's go off the record. Back on the record. I'm willing to provide copies of evidence, written documents showing evidence of income of the House of Beauty. I'm willing to share those with you, Mr. Varden, with the exception that any items which are privileged, such as income tax returns, we are still asserting those privileges. You are certainly entitled to that privilege. May I inquire of your client generally? Sure. In April of 2009, did you have any other business other than the House of Beauty? No. Did you have any source of income other than the money derived from the House of Beauty? Me personally? Yes. No. I understand your husband was a grocery checker, so he had income from that? Yes. Did he, as far as you know, have any other income other than that which he may have received from the House of Beauty or his work as a grocery checker? No. Did you personally lose any income from work as a cosmetologist from the accident? Yes. Approximately how much time or money did you lose? 4 months. Were those 4 months immediately following the accident? Yes. So from April 8 to approximately April 8 of 2009? Yes. That was because of your injuries to your neck, back, and the anxiety that you felt? Yes. Roughly the 4 months after April 8, did you ever lose any time from work? Yes. And how much time did you lose? The question is not coming across. Did you lose any period of time in the sense of days or weeks or months, or were your hours reduced as far as how much you could do? I guess a combination of the above. When? After August 8, 2009. After the accident? After the 4 months after the accident. After the 4 months after the accident, did I lose any time from work? Yes. What I'm asking is, what time did you lose from work that you connect with the accident? I would limit myself to what I felt I could handle, sometimes working 2 days a week, and sometimes during the week, working 3 days. It went on until I felt I could build it up to more. Okay, now I'm not trying to hold you on this. Roughly 4 months after the accident that you lost from work, and we're talking about 3.5 months or 4 months. During that period of time, how much time did you work in that period? It would depend on how I felt that day when I came into work and what the workload allowed. If I could take it, I would do more. If I could take it, I did more. If I couldn't take it, I would do less. Okay, I'm going to switch transcripts now. Okay. Court. All right, here we go. Come to order. Court is now in session. Call the case of People of the State of California versus Damian Wayne Aztec and Jeannie Ramirez. Macy Brunn appearing on behalf of the people. Richard Schultz for Jeannie Ramirez, who is present before the court in custody, and for Mr. Aztec, who is present in custody. All right, this case is sent here for preliminary hearing. As I have been known to ask, has it been fully discussed so that no one thinks there's going to be the possibility of resolving this case right now before we get started? I'm always open to negotiate, but so are we. My client maintains that she's factually innocent. All right. Well, guess what we'll do is put on a preliminary hearing. Call your first witness. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. But I wanted to let the court know prior to starting that I will not be proceeding on any of the gang enhancements or on count 5 today. Okay. The people call Juan Garcia. If I could inquire of counsel, I have not heard that that was relayed to us before. Does that change your offers, counsel, in any way? Not to the actual incident. Okay. Well, I don't know that what we had, that there was any kind of communication at all. Is there a new offer you wanted to convey, Ms. Brunn? Well, I previously conveyed an offer that did not include any of those allegations. I'm not sure I would want to make a different offer at this time unless I'm always willing to entertain a counter offer, but how about that, Mr. Schultz? She's saying that she's made an offer and she's willing to entertain a counter offer. I'll ask my client if she wishes to make a counter offer. She's not going to proceed on count 5, and she's not going to proceed on the allegation that the crime was committed for the benefit of, at the direction of, or in association with a criminal street gang. I'm sure it's not her intention to. So there's still an allegation of 1, 2, 3, 4 prior prison terms on Mr. Aztec. I'm sure she's not intending to strike those. It doesn't appear we'll have a meeting of the minds, Your Honor, and I never am up for a meeting of the minds. I look for a deal. The people hold their nose and accept. What is your client's counter offer? Her counter offer is she has no prior record. She would take the receiving and a grant of probation and 1 year in county jail. And that was ejected by Ms. Brunn. Yes, my offer had been count 1 as a robbery in concert for 6 years. What's the exposure here? Well, without the gang enhancements, it's over 10 years. I'd have to look at count 3 because with the gang enhancements, it was 7 to life. So I'd have to look it up again to see. So on Ms. Ramirez, what is first degree burglary? 2, 4, 6. I know that. I'm sorry. What is first degree residential burglary? Is this still 2, 4, 6? Yes. 3, 4, 6. Residential robbery is 3, 4, 6. Correct. Would you take the mitigated term on Ms. Ramirez for 3 years forthwith? What is the offer for Mr. Aztec? It's 8 years. As far as Mr. Aztec, I have no idea what the facts are of this case. That's a 5-year prior prison term. That's 5 years right there. So, yes, I can't say that that's a bad deal if the facts are there. But I also have no idea of the facts of the case. You want 3 years, Mr. Schultz? That's at 85%. That's at 85%. 3 years? Yes, that's the mitigated term. I thought you said mitigated term 4 years. I'm not telling you what to do. I think she's never been to prison before. She'll be doing 85% of it. That's pretty big for the first ride to prison, and that's a strike. She's not willing to plead to a residential robbery, Your Honor.
Ooh, a lot of back and forth.
Yes. And that's why those transcripts are so important as well, because it's,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's
A lot
not,
of sign changes.
yeah. And it's not your typical, Q&A. So they're just trying to decide if they're going to go forward with that preliminary hearing or not.
Right.
So that was one from my father-in-law. So I had to change all the names
Yeah.
because it was local. Oh,
How funny.
yeah. So, all right. Well,
I'm worn out.
yeah, that was a lot of material that we
Yeah.
covered.
Yeah.
So, okay,
That's right.
can you come in tonight to
I'll
the,
try.
okay, good.
I'll try. Yeah,
Good.
it's 5, right? Because
Yes.
that's the one that I really need to go to. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is like your
So.
cleanup class, and then your
Mm-hmm.
night will be your more of your, it's pushing you.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's what I need. I need to
Yeah.
push.
Yeah. So try to come in.
Okay.
Okay. And then I get to see you Thursday.
Yeah.
At
That'll be
9.
fun.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, at
excited.
9:00.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, have a great day, and I hope to see you tonight.
Okay, Jill.
Okay.
See you
All right.
later.
Bye, Pandora.
Bye.